Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. All right, welcome back for another episode of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is your boy, the Marvelous One, back at it again with the usual suspects. We got Philasophikal and Don here, and we also have our guest host, Nate, representing the Falcons on the show. So we're going to get to talk a little bit about those Falcons and the Saints rivalry that's coming up. But let's start off with Phil, man. Let's hear about Phil with those Vikings and how did they lose to the Lions. Wait, before you start, Phil, I know you picked the Lions, and then there was a big commotion in the NFL about why were the Lions favored over the Vikings. It was like Vegas knows something here. So can you explain?
I knew something.
You knew something.
Well, look, I knew something. Well, the Lions historically give us problems. That's one. Two, I've been saying for the better part of about 4 weeks that we can't seem to get pressure on the quarterback. We can't stop the pass. And Detroit's offense has been scoring 35 points a game for the past 4 weeks. So I knew that we were in some trouble. And that's why I'm a little afraid of the first round of the wild card playoffs, because I think it's going to be an early exit with our defense playing like it is. I am going to give Kirk Cousins some grace this week. This is the second time. This is the second time I've said this. Even though Justin Jefferson is saving him, so pretty much I'm going to chalk this one up to the defense, because we did put up 23 points and we did came back in the fourth quarter. But again, I'm going to give Kirk Cousins some grace this week. Defense stinks, and congratulations, Lions, on your win that I predicted correctly. So we'll see you next week. We'll see next week. We're firmly in the playoff. We're firmly in the division win. So I'm not too worried, but I'm worried about the first round of the playoffs. So,
well, I tell you what, man, you seem to be more fiery last week when you beat the Jets than you are losing to the Lions, which I find to be remarkable here. But yeah, okay. So Don, tell me, who's your third string quarterback's name again?
Talking about the one that got his first win. So his name is Anthony Brown, great quarterback out of Oregon, and I can actually tell you that we're proud to have him on the Ravens organization. He did what he had to do. He didn't lose the game, didn't do no turnovers, and that's what you want a young quarterback to do. You want him to stay within the offense, man. And and we had a good running game, even though Dobbins, he came back, he wasn't 100%, but we still we brought back that old Ravens ground pound game, put up a nice bit of chunk of yardage, and I think that that's the way moving forward. Put the pound down, down game, and keep running the ball hard. I don't think that we minimize the team's possessions, maintain ball control, and that was big during that game. You had Dobbins, 15 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. And that's what you want out of the team. And we had good, despite what anyone would say. I'm going to open up with that. Despite what anyone has said, that defense has turned it on. That defense has turned it on. Since week 5, 7-2. And we ranked top 5. We rank in top 5 in all 3 categories of defense, including turnovers. And Phil, while we going on, you can go ahead and look those numbers up, because they men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I can actually say that the Ravens is turning. We're making teams turn over. Now, I know what you're going to say. We're making quarterbacks who are not quality quarterbacks turn over. Okay, you play the same teams, but you're not turning them over like that. And even when we don't get the sack, we are rushing them into bad decisions, and that's how you get turnovers, because the quarterback rushed into a bad decision. But I can actually say I predicted it. I told everybody that just because you play hard don't mean that you're gonna win. Steelers played hard, and they're supposed to play hard. You ain't supposed to roll over and play dead. But I will remind everyone. Everybody say this is not a great one. Yes, it is. This is not the college football. This is not a power ranking. Grown men play the sport. So I digress. Never win, and we're gonna win next week, and we can probably win all the way out, and then we probably won't even have to play the last game.
All right,
but I'll save that for later.
Let's not get carried away. See, give you an inch, you want to take a yard every time, man. Why don't you take it one game at a time with Anthony Brown or Tony Brown? What's his name?
Brown, put some respect on his name. He got more wins than your starting quarterback.
Oh man,
Shots fired. Wait, what's the 10?
You-
Shots
Our starting
fired.
quarterback got
he
two
played.
wins. Okay, he's
Hey,
got two.
and next
Well,
week,
Anthony Brown played the second half of the game. I don't count that as a win.
I count that
So
as a win because he came in during the
I
fourth
don't. I
quarter
don't.
time, and he was cold,
Well, technically,
ice cold.
the win goes to Tyler Huntley.
No,
So
Yeah.
technically, he closed the
Yeah.
game out. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. And we went into the
Okay.
fourth quarter,
Okay.
something that we weren't doing in the beginning of the season, and
That's
that
true.
needs to be that needs to. And I told
That's
you,
true.
we're winning
true.
the games that the Vikings were winning.
shots fired.
But okay, I'm gonna ask this again. I'm gonna ask this again, and I've been asking this for the past 3 weeks. Is this sustainable in the playoffs? You're not better than the Chiefs. You're not better than the
Agreed.
Bengals, and you're not better than the Bills. You're not.
Beat the
The
Bengals,
defense.
and
You're
we
gonna
played the
have to.
Bills tough,
You're gonna.
and
ha-
we'll beat the
You're
Bills.
gonna have to. You're gonna have to score a lot of points in the playoffs. You
Not
got
with a
those are
top-notch defense, and you doing ball control with the running play, something that you don't do.
not with a third string quarterback.
Will Lamar
Or
be
second
ready for
string
the ball?
quarterback.
Yes, and
Lamar's
Lamar will
not.
be ready.
Okay.
Lamar's ready. We don't. One
Okay.
thing that we listen. The thing that we
He's
did
had a
not have
terrible
last year.
season.
No, look, listen to me, because I need y'all to go back to last year when Huntley came in. Those games was 2 and 3 point loss. We were in the game all the way, but the thing about it is we didn't have the
Here we go with
defense.
this almost again.
Yeah,
We
almost.
didn't have the
You
no.
lost.
I'm not talking
Here we
almost,
go with
folks.
this
Man.
almost again.
No,
Yeah.
listen to me. Listen to me. No, seriously. The defense is stepping up this year and it's stepping up big. Something that we didn't do last year. We didn't close out defensively strong. Right now, we're closing out defensively strong.
That's
I'm taking.
talking a big game when you haven't played a team with the winning record in 2 months.
Hey,
And the
you know
last
what?
time you did, you lost.
Wow.
Last time you do, it's the Bengals the last week of the season for the division.
Hey,
Facts.
Wow, that's
you're
true.
right. You're right. We didn't play the Saints. We played the Saints. They didn't have a winning record.
Watch your mouth.
And we're gonna
Watch
play
your
the
mouth.
Falcons, who don't
Oh,
have
don't
a
worry.
winning record.
Don't worry. Christmas Eve, you got an
We're gonna
outcome
play
your
the
way.
Falcons, who don't have a
Guaranteed.
winning record.
Guaranteed.
Well, speaking of the Falcons' sake, so
The Atlanta Falcons.
we got the big rivalry
Falcons
game
with a
coming
losing
up.
record.
Even though both teams have losing records, it just seems like whenever the Saints and Falcons play, it's a big game. The both cities get hype about it. No matter what the record is, it's about you can roll your eyes. It's about claiming that title, who won, right? So the Saints got the best of the Falcons the first game of the season, but now the Falcons are coming in with a different quarterback. So, Nate, I got to ask you, how do you feel about that? Why make the change now?
Obviously, I'm not in the coach's room there, but I agree with it. I think it was a smart play. No one in the Falcons organization, and if they tell you they're lying, and nobody in their fan base thought we were coming in this season being competitive. We know we're kind of in a rebuilding year, trying to recover from our previous regime. So we knew coming in. So why rush a third string quarterback? History tells you third round draft pick. History tells you, with the exception really of Russell Wilson, if a third round draft pick is pretty much a career backup. Josh McCown, Matt Schaub, Nick Foles, except for one Super Bowl, they're career backup. So why rush this guy? You come in, you paid Mariota, you got him here. He did a good job. But then Desmond Ridder, and I don't want to hear like any of you guys watched a lot of Cincinnati football last year.
I did. I did.
Okay, well, I stand corrected.
I did.
What are the odds? But no, he's a hell of a player. Let's 4-year starter, 87 touchdowns, 28 picks. Never threw over 10 picks in one season. Over 10,000 yards, and a QBR, if you care about that for the college stats, about 145. So that's awesome. But what are most people going to remember? That Cotton Bowl loss to 27-6 to Alabama last year, and it was rough. Oh, that's an NFL defense he's playing. It is what it is.
NFL defense. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, what you gonna play NFL defense for Christmas?
We're not expecting him to come in here and be lights out. It hurts. We're down Kyle Pitts, but it is what it is. But he'll come in, he'll make some mistakes, but he has a good arm. He can make a lot of those throws that Mariota can't make. The guy's 6'4", 215. That's a big dude. That's an NFL body right there, and he's only getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, I'm super excited about it. You know, it comes with our Super Bowl. I wish we were playing y'all for the sweep, but we'll gladly take a win to kind of rebound off our loss the first week of the season. But yeah, definitely excited for it, and better now than later. You know, we got these next 4 weeks to determine, is Desmond Ridder our guy moving forward, or do we got to look in the draft for the next QB? Time will tell.
Right.
But definitely excited, looking forward to it.
So you seem to know Desmond Ridder pretty well. So how does his skill set fit with the young studs that you have, right? Well, Kyle Pitts is gone for the season, but you still got Drake London. How does that differ from what Mariota brought, right?
So I'm gonna try and not sound like too much of a Mariota fan, because if you're my QB1, I'm gonna back you. But he couldn't make those throws downfield. There's no shortage of film of him overthrowing, whether it be a streaking tight end, a running back in the flat, a wide receiver across the middle. So Ridder has shown that he can make those. He's shown he can make these throws at the college level and in preseason. And we all know how preseason goes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really playing against NFL talent. So definitely excited to see. We got Drake London will be out there. Of course, we have our running game that he'll be able to lean on. And definitely excited to see where it goes. A good warm-up game against New Orleans before we come in New Year's Eve into Baltimore and put it on them sorry Ravens.
Wow, was that a shot at both of us, Don?
Hey, sorry, first place.
I got limited time here. I got to make the most out of it.
First place Ravens. hey, this is recorded. Next slide.
I actually called this Desmond Ridder. And I feel like, and Marvin knows, I've been calling for Desmond Ridder to start for about 3-4 weeks now. And I actually think it's a smart move, because I've said for the past 3 weeks now that they need to see what you can get out of Desmond Ridder. And this is a push to build his confidence. They're not playing any good teams in the next 2 weeks. And just see what you got. See what you got. I saw him at Cincinnati. He was highly accurate. I think the only problem I have was at a great era at Cincinnati he was playing. You can throw out that Alabama game. Alabama's an NFL team in disguise. But I think he's highly accurate. I think it's a perfect spot to get him in there to build his confidence, because I think they're going to play him next year. It sucks Kyle Pitts is out for the season. I like Atlanta right now, and I've been calling for them, Atlanta or Carolina, to win that division. I just wanted to kind of say that. I like Atlanta, what they're doing right now. The Saints, they're nobody. Ravens, they're nobodies.
Hey, I mean, Vikings are my second favorite team. Shoot.
There you go. So, well, I'll take Desmond Ridder over Kirk Cousins.
Nice.
This guy doesn't like winning. Anyway.
so we've been neither does
Jameis Winston.
Once again, we've been nice to our guests, far too long. So let me go ahead and be the vinegar, taste of vinegar in the water. So I don't even I was gonna call him Nate the Great, but then I looked up and looked at it. I said, that's not a good name. For Mr. Nate, because Nate the Great was if you look, it's a childhood book, and it was about a detective, and they solve crimes. And the only crime that you need to solve right now, Nate, is the crime for everyone that's in the Falcon organization that's picking up a check for putting that roster together. Can you please explain what is the way forward?
Okay. Well, first off, I just want everyone to know a tidbit about that being a children's book. I used to grow up reading it, so he's stealing my lines right now. I knew I should talk to him sparingly today, because he's gonna try and steal some of my material. So shame on me. Fool me once though. No, so I agree. We have not put a good product on the field recently. I'm not in the organization, so I can blame whoever the heck I want to. I'm blaming Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn came out of Seattle, and he tried to build a defense just like that, drafting some guys that shouldn't have been drafted where they were and paying some folks he shouldn't have been paid. So we're still recovering from this. Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, Tack McKinley, Vic Beasley. We're getting over all these horrible contracts, and we got $74 million of cap space coming in for free agents next year. Not to mention we got a good young core, good running game, good up and coming offensive weapons. We got a good left guard. We got a good right guard. Our left tackle, Jake Matthews, he's going to retire one of these days, but he's a hell of a player too. So, we have not put a good product on the field, but with Terry and Arthur moving forward, our GM and head coach, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC South and the NFL at large moving forward for sure.
Okay. Well, with that said, and we ask all our guests this: what are you predicting? What's your record going to be at the end of the season? Or are you making the playoffs?
This season?
Oh,
absolutely not.
No, we call this a voice of reason for a reason.
No, I do think we'll beat New Orleans because historically speaking, we normally split every once in a while. We'll sweep, and
that's true.
So I think we'll beat New Orleans. I won't say it on this podcast, but I will think we'll beat the Ravens. But I have to say that because I've been telling them it for weeks now, so I can't.
You wouldn't
go
put
back.
your money on it. You wouldn't put your rent money on it.
I was initially nervous about not Carolina, about Arizona, but now with Tyler Murray out, I think that would be an easy win. And then hopefully we can rebound from that horrible roughing the passer call on
Tom Brady.
Yeah, that was awful, and hopefully we can rebound. But even still, I don't think we got a shot to make the putt. Which if we do, but our draft pick isn't getting any better. We sit. Last time I checked at the 11th pick, but we don't need hopefully we don't need a quarterback or really any big offensive weapon. So hopefully that'll work out. But if I had to predict right now, I'd say 7-10.
7-10. Yeah.
And you're going to win it you're going to win next season through free agency, correct?
I hope so. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to blow it out the water, but for next year, I think a solid, kind of flip the script on it, do a 9-8, 10-7.
That'd be interesting to see. So I think once Sean Payton comes back for next year, you guys are going to go back in the hole.
It wasn't Sean Payton, it was Drew Brees. I'm not too concerned about Sean Payton.
Well, you should be concerned about Sean Payton because, as I remember, you got swept by Taysom Hill 2 years ago. Yes, and those games weren't close.
You talking about your starting tight end?
My third string tight end, actually. My third string tight end, who they don't want to start at quarterback for some reason. But yeah, we swept the Falcons with him at quarterback.
When are people going to realize that dude's going to run the ball? I don't even get me started. Okay, man, I tell you,
I'm actually going to make a bold prediction here. I actually think the Atlanta Falcons are going to win the division. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at their remaining 4 games. They're all 4 of these games are winnable games.
Man,
they
get
can
the
beat the Saints. I think Baltimore's going to start resting players. They're going to start resting players for Lamar Jackson to come back. They can beat Arizona and they can beat Tampa Bay. So they can go 3-1, 4-0 in the next 4 games and win this division.
Mr. Glass ain't coming back. Lamar Jackson ain't coming back.
Mr. Glass.
I called it from the beginning of the season. This guy can't play a full season if his paycheck, which it literally does right now, depends on it.
Oh, wow.
Hey, this is recorded.
Hey,
Nate the Great.
Great athlete. Will never take anything away from him. I would never pay him. I would take my money with Tyler Huntley and pay Roquan Smith. That's what I would do for.
And we're talking about an organization that doesn't have a winning tender. Talking about how to put a winning organization together. Next slide.
But wait a minute. The last time y'all paid a quarterback, was Joe Flacco, and that blew up in y'all face. So y'all haven't paid a quarterback since Joe Flacco.
I mean, Lamar Jackson is the quarterback after Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
But what I would like for you to do.
Hold on, MVP.
Yeah. I would really like for him to not pay Lamar so we can pay him and he can come to New Orleans. I'll take that.
Franchise tag Lamar is signed.
I'll take that.
The Falcons would do it too. So everybody sprinkling hate. Oh, Lamar. Hey, you know what? You just heard Nate talk about how much salary crap he got. Yeah, sounds peculiar, huh?
I don't think so. You will pay Lamar?
Hell yeah.
Nah. No way.
Everybody would pay
No.
Lamar.
Why would
Everybody
you
would
not
pay
pay
Lamar.
Lamar? Every team is.
How you go? Hold on.
Every,
How you gonna say you didn't pay Lamar and you paid Kirk?
well, hang on. Every team is looking for a
And
franchise quarterback. You got a quarterback that's actually won an MVP and has gone to the playoffs. So it's right now the Falcons are looking for a franchise quarterback. The Saints are looking
But
for
you gotta understand.
He
You gotta
ain't the guy.
The Panthers
when you in
had Baker Mayfield, they had Sam Darnold, they brought Cam Newton back, desperately looking for a franchise quarterback. Why would you not
this is the thing though.
pay a franchise quarterback when you have one?
This is the thing though, right? When you win an MVP, you're consistently going to the playoffs. Expectations go up.
Yes.
When is Lamar Jackson going to take Baltimore to a Super Bowl?
When is Kirk Cousins going to earn his check? The same thing.
Well, let's first worry about when is Lamar Jackson going to win a playoff game. Let's work on one playoff game.
This season.
He did.
This season.
They won.
Okay.
He won a playoff game.
He won last year. They won last year.
No, it was the year before. But he's won a playoff game. Yes. Yes.
The year before.
And Phil, so ask yourself this question. How many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl in their first 4 seasons in the league? Not very many.
Tom Brady. Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's 2.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't think he won it his first
3
years. It took him some time.
When they beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
But the point is, I didn't say no quarterback has done it. I'm saying there's not very many that has done it. It takes time. It takes time. So to make these lofty expectations, they expect the Super Bowl within your first 4 seasons.
You're right. We've fallen under the Pat Mahomes spell.
Taking them to the playoffs.
Yes, you have fallen under the Pat Mahomes spell or the Tom Brady spell. You're talking about a guy that's got 7 Super Bowls in 23 years.
Right. What we've seen from Lamar Jackson is in order for him to be max effective, he has to carry a brunt of the running game. And when he does that, he cannot stay healthy.
Absolutely.
So if you're paying him, you're saying like, I'm paying you for 12 games a year, and hopefully some of those are in the playoffs because that's all he can give you. If you're saying I want you to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, you will not be successful.
Now some of this is on the Baltimore organization.
Hold on. Did you see it at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, the first 3 weeks. How's he done after that? He's doubled his interceptions and cut in half his touchdowns.
It's play calling.
And we're dealing with an organization that historically favors defense over offense. Right? They have not drafted receivers well. They have not built a good team around Lamar Jackson. And so some of this I do put on the Ravens organization.
The problem is, and I agree with Nate, is Lamar has to carry the team. And if he has to carry the team,
what's the problem with that?
He's going to break down.
Mahomes does it. What's the problem with that?
Josh
is doing it, and guess what? Josh missed a couple of games, but he's back in.
They built a
That's
team
Mr. Allen. That's
Josh.
Mr. Allen to use.
Huh? It ain't Mr. Allen. Come on. Call the white mister.
They built.
Go ahead. They built the team around.
Y'all know how the show works, man. Next slide. We're not getting anywhere with this Lamar Jackson debate. All right, y'all know how the show works.
We'll continue throughout the playoffs.
Make the playoffs. How about that?
Hey, we are, and you're not. So
you're right about that. I already knew that for the beginning of the season.
Keep that energy.
I will. So look at here.
Don't worry, Don. Jameis Winston gonna take him to the playoffs.
Anyway, so Don and there's nothing to talk about. Jameis Winston's not playing, but anyway, Don and Phil went 8-5 last week. I went 6-7. So right now, you guys are on the roll. Don is still leading with 61% win percentage. Phil is 1 point behind you at 60%, and I'm dropping down to 57%. So,
oof, man.
Yeah, I'm losing my touch, but that's okay. I'll be back. I'm not gonna claim that I'm in the driver's seat. So
you can use some of my picks.
Oh no, sir. All right, so we're gonna do the recap, and then we're gonna make our predictions. Nate, you gonna participate in our predictions?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go through the recap real quick. So we had the Thursday night game. The Rams at home against the Raiders. The Raiders were 6-point road favorites over the Rams, and we all went with the Raiders. And Baker Mayfield shows up Saturday night.
Crazy.
Wednesday night. And shows up Thursday and beat the Raiders in the final minutes of that game.
It was an amazing throw. It was an amazing throw. That was a hell of a throw. Yeah.
Where was that in Carolina? That's my
Where's
question.
Where's that been in Baltimore?
Man. I mean, Nate comes on the show throwing fire, man.
He's throwing. Hold on, he's throwing fire from the basement. Finish the whole statement. He's throwing fire from the basement.
Man.
Boy, I tell you.
Does that.
Don, real sassy today, man. All right, going on to the Sunday games.
Oh man.
We had the Bills at home against the Jets. The Bills were 9.5-point home favorites. The Bills won this game. We all went with the Bills, so we got the win there. Next, we had the Bengals at home against the Browns. The Bengals were 6-point home favorites. Don went with the Browns. Phil and I went with the Bengals. The Bengals got the win here. All right.
Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. Is he looking? He's looking like he.
It's been 42 weeks.
42 passes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
He pitched a full game.
2 weeks, Don.
Yeah.
It's been
If
2
you're
weeks.
scared, say you're scared. That's what's coming for you this week.
Yeah.
He just got back.
He pitched 2 full games, 2 9-inning games,
Hey, man.
and lost. I'm good.
At $238 million guaranteed, he better be throwing 50 passes a game.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. Yes. He throws
just got
50,
back.
60 passes a game. He better. Yeah, absolutely.
He
I
just
don't
got
feel
back.
sorry for
He
him.
just got back.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, he just got back. I think it's still kicking off some rust, but, we'll see what happens. All right. Then we had the Cowboys at home against the Texans. The Cowboys were 17-point home favorites. We all picked the Cowboys. I got a little nervous about this game. I thought the Texans was actually going to win this game.
I did too.
It looked real tight.
Yeah.
And guess what? I think the sports broadcasters and all the TV ratings, they thought so too, because they switched every game to it.
Yes, they
Yeah, they
did.
did.
Yep. All right, next slide. All right, we have the Lions at home against the Vikings. Now, surprisingly, Phil picked the Lions along with Don.
The
The
disrespect.
disrespect. I mean, what kind of fan is he? Well, anyway, Vegas was right.
I'm trying to win the records.
Man, he was the voice of reason on that one.
Yeah, he was. I got to give it to him on that. The Lions were 2.5-point home favorites against a 10-2 Vikings team. That was surprising. And sure enough, I knew Vegas knew something. Lions won. So, all right. Moving on to the next one, we had the Titans at home against the Jaguars. The Titans were 3.5-point home favorites. Don and I went with the Titans. Phil went with the Jags. The Jags won the game, so Phil got the win on that one. Next,
Question on this Titans game: does the Titans look like they're gonna be limping into the playoffs, or they might fall short?
I think they're going to win that division. The division is terrible. So, I mean, they're in the division with the Jags, the Colts, and the Texans. So they're going to win the division and make the playoffs.
In Texas, Jaguars have to win. Jaguars have to win out the rest of the games. I don't see Tennessee falling off the cliff that bad.
Yeah. All right, next slide. We have the Giants at home against the Eagles. The Eagles were 7-point road favorites here. Don and I went with the Eagles. Phil went with the Giants. The Eagles won the game.
John's out there playing flag. John's out there playing flag football.
Yeah, like I told you, they're not ready. They're going to need another year.
They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
There you go. Everybody's looking for that franchise
So
quarterback.
is Hurts the MVP?
He should be.
Yeah.
Well, once again, we don't talk about Philly because Philly never stood up. Next slide.
Next slide. I told you I'm not talking about Philly. Philly fans ain't standing up. All right. We had the Steelers at home against those Ravens. The Steelers were actually 2.5-point home favorites, and that's probably because Lamar wasn't playing. But
Disrespect.
But the Ravens won the game over the Steelers. Don is the only one that picked the Ravens, so Don got the win there.
You right about that.
Next slide. Broncos at home against the Chargers. I'm sorry, against the Chiefs. The Chiefs were 9-point road favorites. We all went with the Chiefs. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We got the win. All right. This is the surprising one for me. 49ers at home against the Bucks. 49ers were 3.5-point home favorites with a third-string quarterback. Now, Phil and Don picked the 49ers. I went with the Bucks, and the 49ers thrashed the Bucks 35-7. That was ugly.
Why are you surprised by this? Why are you surprised by this? Why are you surprised by this?
I want to hear that.
They had a third-string quarterback starting for them. We hadn't seen this guy before.
Iowa State.
Yeah, but Tampa Bay's been killed by injuries.
Yeah, they fall apart.
I mean, why y'all looking all confused? Tom Brady lost to some 7th-round draft pick. So, yes, that is surprising.
No, I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised that he lost 35?
I'm not surprised.
No.
Okay.
I'm not surprised because look who the coach is. The coach can coach a trash can.
Yeah. I like Kyle Shanahan. Like I told you before, I was so happy that he left the Falcons and went to the 49ers. But yeah, he's a good coach. Yeah, I like Kyle Shanahan. But I didn't know he was going to be able to thrash the Bucs like he did with his third-string quarterback. Okay.
I didn't think it would be a beat like that, but and I would say that dude is
yeah. He looked really good. So hey,
that Mark is accurate.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, he did.
Jimmy G and Trey Lance should be watching it back.
Trey Lance.
Yeah. All right. Next slide. Seahawks.
Well, Jimmy G is probably going to be gone anyway. But
Seahawks at home against the Panthers. Seahawks with 3.5-point home favorites. We all went with the Seahawks, and they lost to the Panthers. Once again, I do not know which Panthers team is going to show up. One week they're getting thrashed, and then the next week they're beating the Seahawks. I can't figure them out.
And they put together a solid game too. I mean,
they're running the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah,
they're running the ball 40 times a game.
And they're using like 3-4 different quarterbacks. They went back to Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next, we have the Chargers at home against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 3-point road favorites. We all went with the Dolphins, and the Chargers won the game.
I kind of went against myself on this one because I'm starting to see that if you play over the top, now you take away a dynamic piece of the Dolphins. I want to see next week if the teams are going to change their defensive scheme, because I know that's how the Ravens started out with them, but we went away from it. But I want to see if everybody's picking up on, if you play one over the top, can they come underneath and take them hits from the linebackers?
I think it's more to it than that. And I don't know if you're referring to Tyreek Hill being taken out of the game. He had an ankle injury, and he missed part of the second half, and most of the first half he was limited with the ankle injury. So I think that played a part into it. I think he's like
limited with those hits too.
Yeah, well, with the hits, but you're taking away his best quality, his legs, right? His speed. And that takes away much of what the Dolphins do. They rely heavily on him to take the top off the defense and open up things, the short to intermediate passes. If he's not out there running those bubble screens and stuff like that, that takes away a lot of what the Dolphins do. So we'll see what happens.
I kind of disagree. I think it's a lot what Tua can do.
Okay.
I think Tua is very limited, and I kind of hinted at this. I don't think Tua is that great. He's not accurate. He's got to kind of hope Tariq kind of save some bad throws. So I think teams are kind of forcing him to condense him to either. The Dolphins can't run the ball either. So if it's not over the top of a big play, they're kind of limited as a team, and I put a lot of that on Tua.
Not only that, but he's shell shocked in that pocket. But do you blame him for being knocked out?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, we all agreed that Tyreek Hill changed that offense. We know Tua is limited, but Tyreek Hill his ability to take a short slant to the house or bubble screen to the house. He opens up so much more for that Dolphins team offense. And when he's not out there, they're a different team. They're back to the Dolphins from last season. So.
But is it sustainable in the playoffs, though? No.
No, it's not, because you must, some way down the line, demonstrate ball control, and you don't want to play a high octane defense.
But was Miami ever really a contender? Like, really?
I think so.
At one point in time, yes.
I think so.
When you got the Chiefs and the Bills and really the Bengals, I mean,
Ravens,
if you're not better than them,
Ravens. And the Ravens.
All right, next slide.
Thank you.
You know. All right. Cardinals.
I'm gonna try that in the office tomorrow. Next slide.
Cardinals at home against the Patriots. The Patriots were 1 point road favorites. We all went with the Patriots. The Patriots won this game, and it looks like Kyler Murray is out for the season with an MCL injury. So tough.
And not only that, but the Patriots look like, if they can put together a strong run in the next couple of games, it's a strong possibility for them to make the playoffs. They got the Raiders, Bengals. Well, no, they don't. Forget what I just said. They got the Raiders, which they should be. But they got the Bengals, Dolphins, and then the Bills. So, next slide.
All right. Let's go to make our predictions. All right, so we're going to start with the Thursday night game. We got the Seahawks. Finally, Amazon Prime has to be happy about this game. You finally got a good game. You got the Seahawks at home against the 49ers. The 49ers are 3.5-point road favorites. I kind of went back and forth with this one. I was upset with myself for going against Kyle Shanahan last week. I'm not doing it this week. I'm going with the 49ers. Who you got, Phil?
I got the Seahawks here.
Okay. Don?
I'm going with the 49ers. I don't think I want to believe in Geno, but Geno got to give me something.
Yeah.
49ers.
Who you got, Nate?
Yeah, San Fran. I think that the Geno Smith experiments ended.
Yeah. I think not only the 49ers have figured out their identity on offense, I think their defense is exceptional. Right?
Yeah.
They've
number one defense.
All right. So next we have the Saturday games. So this coming week we got Saturday games. We got the Vikings at home against the Colts. The Vikings are 4-point home favorites. I'm going with the Vikings here. Who you got, Phil?
Vikings.
Don?
It's amazing that Phil chose his team, but I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he picked up too. Nate?
Yeah, definitely the Vikings here.
Okay. All right. Next, we have the Browns at home against the Ravens. So the Browns are 2.5-point home favorites. Yes, I'm going with the Browns. Dog pound. Who you got, Phil?
Jeez, I'm sorry to say this.
Say it with your chest out. You going with the Ravens?
I'm gonna go with the Browns, man. I'm gonna get Deshaun Watson one more week.
Okay, all right. Who you got, Don? All right, Ravens.
Really? My name's not Phil.
I just had to ask, man, because I know Phil. He doesn't like his quarterback. His quarterback won 10 games.
Phil's not welcome back home either.
Yeah, well, he wants to try a new approach at quarterback. He doesn't care about franchise quarterbacks.
He's not a franchise quarterback
with a winning record.
He's not a franchise.
With a winning record.
He's not a
How you like
he's
that?
not a franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback.
You're right. He's not. Apparently not. So go to the draft and try to find one. Good luck with that. Matter of fact, Jameis Winston will be available next season. You can go pick him up since you love him.
Hey, Marv, he's so ungrateful.
He is. Nate, who you got, man?
Yeah, so I'm actually early Saturday morning, I'm headed out driving from Virginia to Atlanta to visit family for the holidays. I will be there in time for kickoff. And finally, the Ravens will have to face a quarterback that's not completely inept. Nick Chubb's going to run all over him. I got the Browns by
Wow.
I got the Browns by 10.
Ooh.
Woo!
And he
You can
predicted
put
the score.
you can put an asterisk by 10.
Yes, I'm gonna put an asterisk.
You just earned yourself some free ink next week, Nate.
Wow.
You earned
I
yourself
love
some
it.
free
Wow.
ink. I'm circling this.
Wow.
Man.
Get the music
Wow.
ready, Marv.
Yeah, no, I'm putting sassy next to his name because I mean he even
Get
gave
the
us a
music
point
ready.
differential.
Wow.
Wow.
Get the music ready.
Wow. Oh
Clown
man.
music.
So did you pick the Ravens, right, Marvin?
No, I picked the Browns.
All disrespectful
Okay, so
panel members today.
3 people have chosen the Browns. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I've been in the room by myself. I'm
If
comfortable.
anybody but Mitchell Trubisky was the Steelers quarterback this past weekend, they'd have beat the damn Ravens by 10.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
agree.
Fifth was a
finally.
fifth.
Yep. And
We all believe. Next slide.
That is true. There is no if column.
that is true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marvin.
All right. All right. The Saturday night game, we have the Bills at home against the Dolphins. The Bills are 7.5-point home favorites. I'm going with the Bills. Bills will win this game. Phil, who you got?
I'm going with the Bills.
Of course you are, because I picked them. Don.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go bold pick.
There we go.
I'm going with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins has figured out how to light this our offense up again. I think that that head coach, he put in some homework in that offensive scheme. He's gonna change it up. So I like to see what they're gonna do. I'm going with the Dolphins.
Okay.
Why is this a bold pick?
Well, because the Bills are 7.5-point home favorites. So it's a bold pick.
Don't steal my thunder.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Wait, really? Yeah.
Hater.
All right. Well, Nate, who you got here?
Yeah, I think these two teams are going in opposite directions. Josh Allen had a little rough stretch recently, but I think the Bills will go and double up the spread on this one.
Mm.
And the Bills
14
defense is
points.
nasty.
Yeah.
Bills
14
defense is
points.
nasty.
Even without Von Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bills defense is nasty.
Well, I also wonder what the weather's going to be like there in Buffalo.
Exactly. At
they're calling
Buffalo,
for 2 feet of
Miami
snow.
ain't ready for that.
Yeah.
They're calling for 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that's going to be tough on the Dolphins.
Trying to catch the cheetah in snow. Let me see how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, a cheetah with a bad ankle? Mm.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, with the elephant throwing to him, good luck.
He does have an ugly throw.
Hey,
Oh,
this is
terrible.
recorded. Next slide.
Next slide. All right. All right. Hey, Tua, I didn't say anything about you having an elephant throw or anything like that. That was
I
Nate,
didn't either.
wasn't me.
That's
All
Nate.
right.
The disrespect.
The disrespect. All right. The Sunday game, we got the Bears at home against the Eagles. The Eagles are 9-point road favorites. I'm going with the Eagles. Who you got, Phil?
With the Eagles.
Don?
Eagles.
You're not making a bold pick?
Justin
here, man?
Fields isn't playing, right? Justin Fields isn't playing, right?
I think he's playing. He played last week.
It doesn't matter. Eagles.
Yeah. I don't think he played last week. I think they were on a bye. But the week before that, he played. Who you got, Nate?
Yeah, Philadelphia, best team in football right now.
Yep.
But I will think they're going to start probably resting players after this game.
I hope so.
Nah, they won't do it till after the Dallas game on Christmas Eve.
Mm. It'd be nice if they start resting players because we play them next week.
That's a scrimmage game, so you know.
All right. Okay, we got the game of the week. The game of the week.
Finally,
we got the 4-9 Saints, the mighty Saints, 4-9 at home against the mighty Atlanta Falcons at 5-8. The Saints are 4-point home favorite. And I don't care. I told you I would never pick the Saints again as long as Andy Dalton is my quarterback. I'm going with the Falcons on here.
Oh,
And yes, I
oh
said it.
no,
I said it. I'm
oh
keeping my
no,
word. I'm not going with the
oh.
Saints because they refuse to change quarterbacks.
To
Who you
who,
got, Phil?
Marvin? I've been harping on this Desmond Ritter train for the past 3 weeks. I'm picking the Falcons.
All right. And then, of course, Saints Falcons always split unless Taysom Hill's the quarterback. They always split. Don, who you got?
Well, you might as well.
Let me go start by first saying that you bringing Nate on the show with this losing organization probably bring down our ratings. So Nate, I hope you bring us like 10 new followers, like, subscribe, share. You know, the least that you can do.
I put
But
it out of my
back
family reunion.
I sure hope we don't lose any subscribers, right?
Oh, it's going to be all Falcon fans.
So
Oh man,
I gotta play to win, so I'm gonna go with the Falcons. The Saints is not a winning organization, but neither
Whoa,
is
whoa,
the
whoa! Watch
Falcons.
your mouth.
Neither is the Falcons. This is the trash bowl. I'm gonna nickname this the trash bowl of the week. So
oh
the winner of
man.
the trash bowl will be the Falcons.
Hey, man! You don't have to be so disrespectful.
Seriously. Man.
Damn. Yeah, and then you
Stupid.
double down on it. All right, Nate, who you got? You got the Saints on this? Don't make me look
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Pick the Saints.
Yeah. So, even a fun fact, I think this is going to be an excellent coming out party for Desmond Ritter. Unlike Mr. Don over there, I am one of the 4 teams in our fantasy football playoffs, and I will be starting Desmond Ritter this week as my quarterback. 250 plus yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown
Wow.
rushing. Falcons will reign supreme.
Wow, I like this guy.
Wow, man.
I don't.
Wow.
I'm benching Justin Herbert for Desmond Ritter in the playoffs.
Wow, he'll be out in the first
Wow.
round.
I absolutely will be. But hey, if I'm not, it'll be amazing.
Desmond, you gonna bench Justin Herbert for Desmond Ritter? Really?
Well, I would
Feelings over
probably,
facts. Feelings.
actually Justin Herbert plays the Titans this week, so that may be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That may be a good idea.
Nate, I love your energy, man. That's some bold stuff there. Okay. All right, so we're all going with the Falcons, even though the Saints are home favorites here. So I guess technically this is all bold picks for us.
Nah, Hollywood and Las Vegas got this wrong.
You think they got it wrong?
Absolutely. Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you who's gonna get it right. NBC, CBS, everybody, because they're not gonna play this game.
Next slide. Yeah, you real sassy today, boy.
It's gonna be on Yahoo Sports.
Is there a way to mute him? How do we mute him? Man.
It's gonna be on Yahoo Sports.
Next slide. We got the Jets at home against the Lions. This game is considered even. But I'm going with the Jets. I told you I like Mike White. He had 2 tough games early on, but this one should be an easy one for him. I got the Jets winning. Who you got, Phil?
I got the Lions. This is my bold pick.
How's a bold pick?
Oh, he says it's even. It's not a bold pick. Phil.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I got the Lions. I'm riding the Lion train. I think
yes, you are
making a run.
Who do you have, Don?
I'm gonna go with the scariest team that everybody doesn't want to play. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Okay, Nate, you got a prediction?
Yeah, I
for
agree.
Us here?
Detroit's a team nobody wants to see right now, and if they make it into the playoffs, they're going to cause some trouble. So definitely the Lions here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm the lone wolf here. I'm going with the Jets. Okay. All right. Next, we have the Panthers at home against the Steelers. The Panthers are actually 2.5-point home favorites here. Like I told y'all before, I don't know which Panthers team is going to show up. I just can't figure them out. I think they have good receivers. They got a good run game. They just don't have the quarterback, and their defense is good. But I just don't know which team is going to show up. So with that, I'm going with the Steelers. Who you got, Phil?
That's a tough game, man. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I don't trust Trubisky at all. I'm going to go with
Don.
the Panthers here.
Well, I don't have to ask Don. He's going with the Panthers.
You know it, because I got a terrible towel outside, that's wiping my rims right now.
Nate, who do you have?
Yeah, I think Pickett will obviously still be out, and I think Sam Darnold's better than Trubisky and Pickett, so I have to go with the Panthers, begrudgingly, of course. But
okay, all right, fair enough.
And let it be known that this is going to be the first of many wins, because the Panthers can squeeze in the back door this playoff run. Everybody's been quiet about.
They
Everybody's
can
been
sneak
quiet.
in
The
there.
whole
Yeah.
division can. The whole division can. I keep saying that. The whole division can.
No, but if you look at this, if they beat the Steelers, they got the Detroit, Tampa, and New Orleans, all winnable games.
Mm-hmm.
They can flat out win, and then put they're playing against teams in their own division, which is Tampa Bay and New Orleans. So if they beat them, they're almost sure in.
The Panthers actually control their own destiny. The Panthers beat the Bucks. They already got one game up on the Bucks, so they control their own destiny.
And the Panthers defense is nasty too.
It is. They're actually pretty good on defense.
They got a good defense.
And since we're talking all of this nice stuff about the Panthers, they're gonna lose this game. They did this to us before.
You begrudgingly hope.
Yeah. So. They did this to us before. They had us all excited. Man, they beat the Bucks. They did this, blah, blah, blah. And then they lay an egg the next game. So I'm not picking them. All right. Next, we have the Jags at home against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 4.5-point road favorites. Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys. Not wasting any time on this. Phil, who you got?
This is my bold pick. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Trevor Lawrence is playing really good. That's one. Two, Doug Peterson knows the Cowboys. So I'm picking the Jags here.
Okay.
I'm picking the Jags here.
Okay. Yep. Don, you going with the Jags?
I'm going with them boys, man. This is where I create separation between me and Phil with all the nonsense of him picking out of the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been guessing. Okay. Lucky picks.
Okay. He got a wheel of fortune somewhere.
Okay. All
right. Nate.
Watch. No, I'm definitely going to agree. I think Dallas showed their true colors last week against Houston, and Trevor Lawrence is much better. And they've been crying for an upset, and I think they're going to get beat against Jacksonville, and then the next week against Philadelphia on Christmas Eve, and that'll be a wrap for the Cowboys.
Oh man, you better come to work with a mouthpiece.
And Jaguars are better than the Texans. They're
Absolutely
better than the Texans. I'm calling this right now.
They're not better than Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys struggled against
Dallas
the Texans.
Can't stop the.
They struggled against the Texans, but I don't think that's a game that defines their season.
Agreed. Yeah, but
they had a letdown.
Okay.
A bad team got up on them, and they showed character by coming back and beating them.
But what does Dallas always do every year?
They lose in the first round.
They crumble.
They crumble.
We don't know when it's going to happen.
And
what perfect?
It's coming.
This is
I don't think this game is it.
I don't think this is going to be it. But yeah, it's coming. It's probably going to start with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
it's going to start with the
Eagles. That could be. Yeah. They're definitely losing.
Yeah, but by then they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to make the playoffs. They didn't done enough to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
The whole NFC East makes the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Negatron.
They're all in it right now.
Yeah,
the Giants
are done.
They playing for a draft pick right now.
You think so? They still got a shot. Why would they play for a draft pick?
Because Jones is not the quarterback.
Jones is not it.
You're not going to get it. You're not going to get a really good quarterback in the draft. It's not like you're going to get a top 5 quarterback.
And I think they're going to look on somebody else's team and try to steal through free agency like the Atlanta.
You can still try to win this season and do that. So there's no sense of playing for a draft pick. Anyway, next slide. Now, after you talking all those great things about the Texans, I want to see you pick them here. So we got the Texans at home against the Chiefs. All right. Yeah. They had a great game against the Cowboys. Yeah. Chiefs are 14-point road favorites here. I'm going with the Chiefs. Phil, go ahead and pick the Texans here. Since you like them so much last week. No, go with the Texans. Yeah, they look
I was
real
thinking
good against the
Chiefs.
Cowboys. Yeah, fool's gold. Yeah, I know you're going with the Chiefs. All right, Don, who you got? You going with the Texans?
No, I'm going with the Chiefs. I mean, I'm
The
not gonna give
mighty,
you a
mighty
chance.
Texans?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you a chance to wiggle your way back into that.
The 1-11-1 Texans? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
All right. Nate.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Okay. All right.
That's
Yeah.
an easy one.
Yeah, we don't need to spend much time on this. All right. Now we got the Broncos. The Russell Wilson-less Broncos, I think,
Oh boy,
against the
it's a tough
Cardinals.
game.
And the
Kyler Murray-less
Broncos,
Cardinals.
yeah,
Battle of the
Oh,
backups.
the
Battle of the
battle of the
backups.
backups.
this is going to be a terrible game.
Well, the Broncos are 3-point home favorites here.
Who's the
So
quarterback?
I don't know. but what I do know is the Broncos have a really good defense. So I'm going with the Broncos here. Phil.
I'm going with the Broncos. Broncos.
Yeah, of course.
What's his
Because I
name?
picked
Is
them.
Brett? His name is Brett Rippin.
Oh, that's Brett Ripley.
Yeah, Rippin.
Oh,
Yeah. Rippin.
Yeah, it's Mark Ripley. Mark,
No,
not Mark.
Brett
Mark
Rippin.
Ripken's son. Mark
Yeah.
Ripken's son.
Rippin.
Yeah. Rippin.
Rippin.
Yes.
The
Rippin.
Redskins quarterback, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his son or not, but of course he's related to him.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Cardinals have got injuries all over the place. So
Yeah. All right. So, Don, you going with the
So
Cardinals?
I gotta ask myself: Is Hopkins playing? And Hopkins is showing that he is playing and no injuries. I'm going with the Cardinals.
wow. Woo!
I don't think that's
You
that
believe in
bold
Colt
of a pick.
McCoy?
Yeah, Colt McCoy
Okay.
has been playing well for him. He's already played a couple of games this season. So that's kind of why I went back and forth on this. But I think that Broncos defense is going to give him some problems. Who you got, Nate?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go with Denver, but not to derail the show. But is there a better skill position player that needs to ask out of his current organization than Hopkins
He already
from
did it one
Arizona?
time. He gonna do it twice?
Yeah.
This he made a horrible mistake. He's got to go somewhere.
Well, I mean,
That's
Yeah.
man,
we got a
that-
roster spot for him in New Orleans if he wants to come.
this is like Megatron 2.0,
Yeah.
another great talent retiring too soon because that ain't the spot. But man,
Yeah. I feel sorry for him.
yeah,
Well,
seriously.
this was supposed to be the year. They spent a lot of money on defense.
They went and got,
They made some trades. Yeah, they went out and got him some weapons. Paid Kyler Murray all that money, then come to find out he ain't in the film room. It's just been it's been a tough year for the Cardinals.
Yep. It's unfortunate, and the coach may lose his job because of it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Next slide. Next slide.
Tough game. Here we go. Go. Let's go.
Raiders at home against the Patriots. The Raiders are. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me here. The Patriots are 1-point road favorites here. So I went ahead with the Patriots. Who you got, Phil?
Patriots.
Don?
That defense is nasty. Man.
Don?
Go Raiders.
You are Raiders. Okay.
I'm gonna ride with my trade dog. My trade dog. He a Raiders fan, so I'm gonna ride with him.
No, this was a tough pick for me. The Raiders have been playing well lately. Who you got, Nate?
Yeah, I definitely got the Raiders. They had a slight down week last week, but yeah, they're definitely going to bounce back, and that has nothing to do with the fact that Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams are on my fantasy team. It has nothing to do with
Has
that.
everything to do with that.
You guys are gonna actually go against Belichick?
Facts.
Absolutely.
And everybody else has been going with him. Look at their record.
It's
This
7-6.
They're
They're in the thick of a playoff race in the NFC East or AFC East.
Yeah.
So they need this win. All right. Next, we have the Chargers at home against the Titans. The Chargers are 3-point home favorites. Yeah, that's nice. I'm going with the Titans. I've been losing. I've been ride or die with the Titans and mostly dying with them. But I'm going with the Titans here. They need this win. I can't see them losing anymore. Don't mess this up, Titans. Who you got, Phil?
I will say this about these two teams. This game right here defines their season.
Yes.
Right here. I'm gonna go with the Chargers here.
Okay.
I don't
Don.
think the Titans are that good.
San Diego Superchargers. San Diego Chargers.
Where's the mute button? Nate, who do you have, man?
No, yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Tennessee. Derrick Henry fumbled twice last weekend. That never happens, and
Right.
he's definitely going to make up for it.
Yep. That's how I feel about it too. I think they're on a 2-game losing streak here. So
yeah, that's unusual.
yeah. They have a really good coach, so I think they'll fix this.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel will get them straight.
Yep. All right. Buccaneers at home against the Bengals. Bengals are 3.5-point road favorites here. Yep. I'm going with the Bengals. The Buccaneers, the Bucks looked really bad last week. I think that probably really broke their backs there. So we'll see. Who you got, Phil?
You know I'm going with the Bengals. I've been on the
yeah.
Bengal train for 4 weeks now.
All right. So let's hear what Don has to say. Who you got, Don?
Oh,
Yeah, I want to see you pick the Bucks here.
Man, if Tampa Tom was just just go, hey, just act like Lemon Pepper Lou for just 1 second. I think that would solve everything. Just stop and get some of them lemon pepper wings. I think it would solve everything. It would help him through it. But since he didn't get them lemon pepper wings, I'm gonna have to go ahead and ride with the Bengals just for this 1 second.
Wow. Yeah, you want to give me the record, huh?
Yeah.
Give me this.
It hurts your soul.
Is Lemon Pepper? He didn't listen to Lemon Pepper Lou. Lemon Pepper Lou told him where the good wings are at. He ain't want to go get them.
I'm on hot sauce Harry right now. So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, hey, you got a choice to make.
Who do you have, Nate?
Yeah, I can't wait for this podcast to get published. God, tell you, at work he sings a different song when talking about the Bengals. But I knew he was going to get forced into his actual truth and everyone's actual truth that the Bengals he faced early in the season is not the Bengals right now. They're a top team in the AFC. They will be the AFC North champion, and they will be in the AFC Championship again. I'm going Bengals, baby.
Where's the mute button? Where's the mute button?
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Where's the mute button? One game. We
got a clean sweep.
Can't wait.
I said this last week, and I'm saying it again. AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right. Next slide. We have the Commanders at home against the Giants. The Commanders are 4.5-point home favorites. Yeah, I'm going with the Commanders. The Commanders got to win this game. I mean, can I pick a tie again? I can pick a tie for these two teams, say even. They ended a tie last time they played. Maybe they ended another tie. No, I'm going with the Commanders. What you got, Phil?
This is tough. This is really tough. You know what? I'm gonna go on a bold pick here. This is a bold pick. I'm gonna pick the Giants here, and I think they're gonna win by 3 points.
Okay.
I'm going with the Giants here. This is tough.
Don. Scary Terry.
Of course, I got to ride with the Commanders on this. Scary Terry, man. He's doing his thing. I got to ride with him.
Okay. All right.
Great separation once again with Phil.
This is tough. This is a tough one.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going Washington on this one.
Okay.
Come on, Giants. I need y'all to win this game.
And that means that you bet against two of the teams, man. Hey, come to work with the mouthpiece, man.
All right. Last, we got the Monday night game. We got the Packers at home against the Rams. The Packers are 7-point home favorites. I'm going with the Packers. I think Baker Mayfield's luck has run out. That was all cute last week, but seriously, that's not happening this week. Packers are going to finish them off. Packers. Who you got, Phil?
Packers.
Don. You going with Baker?
I like the fact that Baker, I think this right here shows that Baker, regardless of his situation, he still believes that he's a number one quarterback. And I believe that attitude is going to help him. I think they realized they could call different offense. They can expand that book a little bit. And they gave him a week. So I'm gonna ride with the Rams on this one.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's a bold pick.
It's a bold pick.
That's a bold pick.
Nate.
No, I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers is already looking forward to his next ayahuasca retreat. And yeah, Baker Mayfield's going to do just enough to somehow find himself in a starting position next year again. I think the Rams are actually going to win out with Baker Mayfield, and it'll resume this week with Green Bay.
You know, Nate.
He Xeroxed my card off my desk. But
you know, Nate, you have been doing great all throughout the show until the end, man. You know, you were making some smart picks. You were saying some good stuff. But
Story of my life, man.
Yeah, you messed it up, man. All right. Well, guys, that's a wrap. You know, Nate, appreciate you coming on the show. Good show. Good having you here. So, you know, hey, so we do this thing every week. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. We love hearing that.
And share.
And we'll see you next week.